Billionaires also know how to bend time using leverage. Most people believe productivity means doing more tasks. Billionaires see productivity as multiplying impact with less effort. They achieve this by stacking leverage: people, technology, capital, and media. They build teams that execute their vision, tools that automate their workflow, money that earns while they sleep, and content that spreads their influence globally. This leverage allows them to achieve in one day what others struggle to do in months. Every task they touch is analyzed for leverage. Can someone else do this better? Can a system do it faster? Can money make this automatic? They relentlessly delegate the low value and double down on the high leverage. Over time, this creates an exponential gap. While most people are trapped by their to-do lists, billionaires are multiplying results while working fewer hours. This is why they seem to have more time, not because they do everything, but because they stop doing almost everything and focused only on what moves empires. They are also masters at turning stress into strength. Where most people crumble under pressure, billionaires thrive in it. They treat stress not as an enemy, but as a signal, feedback that they are expanding beyond their comfort zone. Instead of retreating from it, they breathe into it, adapt, and grow stronger. They build stress resilience like athletes build muscle, by gradually taking on bigger loads, recovering, and rising stronger. They meditate, journal, exercise, and unplug strategically to clear their minds. They design their schedules to include recovery time as seriously as work time. This allows them to operate at extreme intensity without burning out. While others see pressure as something to escape, billionaires see it as the forge that sharpens their edge. Each storm they survive adds armor. Each challenge conquered expands their capacity. Another difference: they are deeply strategic with their personal brands. Most people drift through life unknown, letting others define their reputation. Billionaires actively architect how the world perceives them. They know reputation is leverage. It attracts capital, talent, partnerships, and opportunities. So they craft powerful narratives about who they are, what they stand for, and what future they're building. They speak on stages, write books, appear in media, and dominate social platforms not for vanity, but for positioning. They become symbols of value, trust, and vision. While most hide in obscurity, they deliberately step into visibility, controlling their story before others can distort it. This is why their influence often outpaces their actual actions. People trust their brand enough to back their next move blindly. To billionaires, personal brand is not decoration, it is an empire-building asset. They sculpt it with intention, polish it with results, and protect it like treasure. Lastly, in this segment, they know how to manufacture belief, first in themselves, then in others. Most people wait to believe until they see evidence. Billionaires reverse it. They believe first, then create evidence through action. This belief radiates through everything they do: their posture, their tone, their plans. It becomes contagious. People invest in them, follow them, and build with them because they transmit conviction. This is how they assemble teams, raise capital, and launch massive ventures with no guarantees. They make others believe in a future that doesn't exist yet. They become walking catalysts of possibility. While most people are paralyzed by doubt, billionaires weaponize belief as a tool of creation. They know the world is built not by the most skilled, but by the most convinced. Their belief becomes gravitational, bending reality around it. And once others believe, too, momentum becomes inevitable. Billionaires also master capital as a force multiplier. Most people treat money as something to spend. Billionaires treat it as a soldier, one they deploy to win more territory. Every dollar has a mission. They use capital to buy assets that produce income, acquire companies that expand their empires, invest in technologies that accelerate their reach, and back visionaries who can multiply returns. They understand the compounding power of capital, how it grows while they sleep, how it buys them time, how it amplifies their decisions. This is why their wealth accelerates with age. Their capital works harder than they do. They see money not as security, but as fuel, not as status, but as leverage. They would rather buy machines that earn forever than luxuries that decay. The average person spends for pleasure. Billionaires invest for power. They have learned to stop trading time for money and to make money work full-time for them. They're also relentless about scalability. Most people build careers that depend on their personal effort. Billionaires build systems that operate without them. They refuse to be the bottleneck. If they can't scale it, they won't build it. Every decision they make is filtered through this lens. Will this work when I'm not there? Can this grow 10x without my constant input? Can this operate through technology, teams, or systems instead of me? They design businesses like living organisms that grow, adapt, and thrive without their presence. This is why they can run dozens of companies at once. They are not running them. Their systems are. The average person creates income streams. Billionaires create automated empires. This is the critical shift that moves them from working in their business to working on their empire. While others chase more effort, they chase more scale, and that single mindset shift is what sets them free. Another hidden truth: billionaires design for legacy while others design for survival. Most people think only about the next paycheck, the next year, maybe the next decade. Billionaires think in centuries. They plan businesses, foundations, and family structures that will endure long after they're gone. They build trust to preserve wealth across generations. They create systems to transfer wisdom to their children. They design companies that will outlive their personal involvement. This long-term vision changes every decision. They won't chase trends that fade. They invest in principles that endure. They sacrifice short-term gains for long-term dominance. While others are obsessed with income, they're obsessed with impact. They ask not just how can I win, but how can this matter 100 years from now? This is why their influence echoes long after their names are gone. Because they planted forests while everyone else was collecting firewood. They're building legacies, not paychecks. They also protect their empires with legal and structural armor. Most people build wealth naked, exposed to taxes, lawsuits, and economic shocks. Billionaires build fortresses. They use holding companies, trusts, offshore entities, and legal frameworks to shield their assets. They hire elite advisors to navigate regulations and design systems that preserve control even during crises. They diversify their income streams so no single collapse can destroy them. They separate ownership from control, so their wealth cannot be seized or disrupted easily. This is why they appear almost invincible. While others lose everything in downturns, billionaires simply reshuffle their structures and emerge stronger. The average person plays offense only. Billionaires play offense and defense simultaneously. They don't just build wealth, they build moats around it. And that protection gives them something even rarer than money: peace of mind. Because they know nothing can erase what they've built. Finally, they understand influence is more powerful than control. While most people try to control others directly, billionaires shape systems, markets, and narratives that influence behavior invisibly. They don't push, they pull. They build platforms people depend on, brands people trust, and ecosystems people can't leave. They shape culture through media, technology, and philanthropy. They understand that power is not about forcing action. It is about making your vision the default choice. They whisper ideas into the collective consciousness until they feel inevitable. This is why their impact seems effortless, because it's embedded in the structure of society itself. The average person tries to command. Billionaires architect environments where their desired outcome becomes automatic. They have moved beyond competition into orchestration. And once you understand this, you realize their true game isn't wealth accumulation at all, it's world shaping. They don't just build companies, they build realities. There's a reason the world's billionaires can make decisions that look reckless from the outside, but turn out to be calculated masterpieces on the inside. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's something deeper, an unshakable mental model they live by, a mindset that reframes risk as opportunity and setbacks as stepping stones. People like Warren Buffett have cultivated a habit of delayed gratification so powerful that while others chase quick wins, they plant seeds that grow into forests. They understand something most never do. Time compounds value like interest. While the average person asks, "How fast can I get results?" billionaires ask, "How big can this grow if I nurture it patiently?" That single difference changes everything. It makes them builders rather than hunters, investors rather than spenders. They don't need instant validation because their vision already validates them. This is the invisible game they play, the game of decades, not days. Elon Musk didn't build SpaceX and Tesla because he was chasing comfort. He built them because he was chasing a mission. This is another hidden truth of billionaires. They are mission-driven, not money-driven. Money is the byproduct, not the purpose. Where most people chase money to feel safe, billionaires chase impact to feel alive. They operate from vision, not fear. Musk was willing to risk his entire fortune on building a reusable rocket when the world called him crazy because he wasn't trying to get rich. He was trying to get humanity to Mars. That kind of boldness doesn't come from greed. It comes from obsession. The secret is that when you're obsessed with solving a problem that matters, wealth will hunt you down. You don't have to chase it. It will chase you. But obsession is uncomfortable. It requires sacrifice, rejection, and relentless discipline. Most people want wealth but fear discomfort, so they stay trapped. Billionaires embrace discomfort as the entry fee to greatness. They accept that the path to wealth is paved in uncertainty, and they walk it anyway. That is what separates them from the rest. Not genius, not luck, but the willingness to suffer for something they believe in. Jeff Bezos built Amazon on a principle that sounds almost naive: customer obsession. But that simple principle is a billionaire's weapon. Most businesses think about how to make money from customers. Bezos thought about how to make customers' lives better, and money followed. That is a paradigm shift most people never make. Billionaires understand that value creation always comes before value extraction. They focus on serving so deeply, so consistently, that profit becomes inevitable. When you're obsessed with making others win, you win by default. This is why billionaires build empires while others build side hustles. They think in ecosystems, not transactions. They don't just sell products. They create worlds where customers want to live. And they don't just look at. Here's the final secret, the one they almost never say out loud. Billionaires manufacture belief. They build empires not just with capital, but with conviction so powerful it infects everyone around them. While most people wait to believe until they see results, billionaires believe first and make the results follow. This is the paradox that keeps the masses stuck. They say, "I'll believe in myself when I succeed," but billionaires succeed because they believe in themselves before anyone else does. They are masters of perception, not in a manipulative way, but in a visionary way. They see what does not yet exist and act as if it already does. That level of conviction bends reality. It makes investors trust them, employees follow them, and the world take them seriously. Belief is their superpower, and it can be yours too. The moment you stop waiting for permission to believe in yourself, you unlock the same weapon they use. Because the only real difference between you and them is not access to capital or luck or genius. It is the size of your belief. Build that belief, and the world will bend to it. So what do billionaires know that you don't? They know that wealth is not an outcome. It is a reflection of inner architecture. It is built from patience, mission, service, and belief. It grows when you think decades ahead, when you embrace discomfort, when you obsess over value, and when you bet on yourself without apology. The average person looks at billionaires and sees fortune. But if you strip away the money, you'll find something deeper, a mindset engineered for greatness. And that mindset is available to you. You don't need a trust fund, or perfect timing, or even flawless talent. You only need the courage to think bigger, the discipline to persist longer, and the audacity to believe in your own potential as fiercely as they do. This is the doorway they walk through, and it's open to you. The only question left is, will you step through it?